Good morning, this is Jack from Charlotte Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 4th of September. My disclaimer, it's for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay. Not a great deal has happened since yesterday. We've still got 6 open buy signals on the futures charts. One of those has made the possible near miss target, which is the one on NQ. This target obviously on NQ made that made target. ES made target. We're back testing the weekly pivot on ES, and on YM we still have a very, very nice looking bull flag channel. So I'm still leaning towards seeing more upside. We will see how that goes. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on the hourly. In terms of the hourly charts here, we've already got a nice looking double top here. I've been just thinking about this in terms of what does the setup look like for going down directly. Now, obviously, we've got all the buy signals suggesting that we go a bit higher. We've got a nice looking double top here, but really, there's not an awful lot else. I mean, there's this Qs thing. This is technically okay as head and shoulders, but I wouldn't be that surprised to see it fail at all into a retest of the high. Dire, of course, we've already got a pretty good, decent looking bull flag, and that looks like a bull flag. IWM, that could be a bull flag too. There's possible head and shoulders here, but in terms of a topping setup, it's not high quality, and it won't be until we go back and retest the high, at which point we might have a decent shot at some nice patterns. We will see. We haven't got any negative divergence pointing down apart from the daily RSI 5 sell signal on the IWM chart. Really, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest the high. We might not get it, but there's not really much of a setup for going down. In terms of the Qs, if we have a look at the daily chart there, and obviously the daily chart on SPX2, we've got SPX closed, moved back above. Basically, it gapped down and closed below the daily middle band, and basically it did the opposite yesterday. It gapped back above and closed above the daily middle band again. That is a rejection. Often you would see this come back and retest the high. So on the Qs, we'd seen a move of the 50 MA. Now we've coming back up, and we've closed slightly below the daily middle band. We could find resistance there, but if we don't and we close back above, then again, I'd be wondering about a retest of the high. So there's not a lot saying really that we go down from here. We will see how that goes. Nothing on the 15 minutes either. And really, I'm leaning towards these being flags. On the bigger picture charts, if we have a look at, hang on, wait a second. If we have a look at the Nikkei chart, the RSI 5 sell signal made target. We're below the daily middle band, and DAX well below the daily middle band as well. Both of these, I'm thinking, might get back to the daily middle band and back test, but these are both acting weaker than the US indices at the moment. They could easily do that while the US indices will retest the highs, and I'm leaning towards seeing that. All right, let's have a look at the DX chart. DX is trading sideways at the moment. We've got a nice looking little top here, which is trying to break down to take us back to the bottom of the range. But really, this is just trading a range. 6-to-1 sell signal pretty much reached possible near miss target. I should really have marked that in this morning. ZB, we finally got to this declining resistance and broken above it. I am wondering about a retest of this high. Everything looking pretty sideways on these charts anyway. Maybe we did have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. I'm wondering if we're losing that divergence at the moment. We'll find out in 11 minutes. Okay, looking at ZN. Not going up in the same way. Wondering about a double top here. Okay, looking at CL. CL, we've got a little 60-minute buy signal fixed. We've broken down from this flag, and I am wondering whether we are forming either a right shoulder. Ideal high would be in about the 64.60 area, or retest this high, set up second high of a double top. But I'm thinking after that, we're likely to come back and retest this low, and very possibly go lower. HO, we've got a nice looking bear flag. It's larger, and we haven't reached flag support yet. Oh, Bob, we've got a very nice looking head and very, very spiky head and shoulders here, which is actually broken down with a target in the 1.952 area. I'm at the moment, we're waiting to see whether or not that's going to fail. It would take a long time for that to fail because this is the top of the right shoulder here, which is not actually a long way below the high. I'm thinking this has got a decent shot, and I like it. I'm thinking we would see a bit of a rally short term, but after that, likely down. On NG, we've broken up from an IHS with a target in the 3.32 area. On GC, 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near miss target. I posted as my chart of the day today. I've done a monthly log chart with a target in the well, it depends when it's hit, but 6,500 to 8,000 area, depending on when it's hit, for a big channel resistance on the monthly log chart. On SI, we potentially have a significant break over resistance in the 40 area, and I'm watching this with great interest. If this breaks, then I'd be looking for a target of the all-time high in the 49.51 area. Looking at PA, IHS is broken up in the 12.55 area. That could be failing, but again, it's a fairly deep price shoulder, so it'd be a while before it failed. Watching the monthly pivot potential support in the 12.39 area. On PL, possible double top or part formed head and shoulders here. Leaning, whatever happens here, this is no longer a bear flag. So I would say, we'll see how it goes. HG, still likely forming a bear flag. Needs to break down to support at weekly pivot and monthly pivot. Doesn't necessarily need to be this week though. Looking at the alternate currencies, we're basically almost across the board, just trading sideways here. It's looking at KC. KC, nice looking double top. SB, wondering about a retest of this low here. On CC, possible bull flag here, but nothing with decent trend lines, so harder to say. CT, very much potential double bottom here. On the bigger picture, this could be the start of a large move up. Lumber has broken below a double top support that could take this a long way further down. ZW is going a little lower here, and I'm thinking, I was talking about unfinished business below on the bigger picture video on Monday, and I'm thinking we may have just tagged that or be pretty close to it. On corn, we've got an IHS which is broken up with a target in the 441 area. On soy, we had a flag, and that's broken down. I've marked in a possible head and shoulder neckline here, but at the moment we're going through that. No current positive divergence. On soybean oil, possible double bottom setup here. Live cattle, looks like a bull flag forming. And lean hogs, wondering about this megaphone, whether this nice looking megaphone resistance is going to hold. If it does, we could be on the way back to a retest of this trend line, currently in the 89.5 area. All right, let's have a quick look at questions. Right, on gold log resistance trend line. Hang on, wait a second. Let's have a look at this now. All right, gold. All right, let's have a look at it. Mainly, I just stopped there because that is a perfect channel. So I would automatically pick that as the most likely resistance trend line. Let's see if we've got any other options. I'd ideally be looking for something with a bit of support here, i.e. a 3-touch trend line. That's a possibility. Yeah. All right, let's see if we've got one from here. It's not awful. If so, we haven't actually quite reached it. But this would be the option that you're talking about, I think. It would need to go a little higher. But yeah, it's worth leaving on the board. Does it have 3 touches already? No, it doesn't. I'd normally be looking for that in a pattern of this size, but yeah, it's worth keeping it as a possibility. I'll leave it on the chart. But yeah, if so, it would still need to go a little higher. I'd be thinking another 30 handles maybe. But do I see any particular reason to think it would be that one? Not unless we saw a reversal there. The obvious trend line until we see that is this one. This is a perfect channel. It's that being the case, it's a higher probability one. But sure, I'll leave those on. If we see a reversal either at this level here or at this level here, yes, that's a possible alternative. So we'll see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I will catch everyone tomorrow morning, and everyone take care. Cheers.